They're caught in two cultures. But it is an ancient saying that one does not ride two canoes, because in time to come, a mighty wind will come and separate the two canoes, and one will fall into disaster forever. So he has to be in one canoe or the other, which simply means is that the two cultures will not meet. And this is where we find our people. That time of separation has come. The two canoes are separating today. That mighty wind has come, according to the prophecies of our people. So we have this Indian feeling. We have Indians all over the country here. And not only Indians, we have the non-Indians who wants to be Indians. So something strange has come over this country, which is the fulfillment of our prophecies, that mighty wind has come. In wind, you do not see it, you only feel it. So there's a feeling that has come over people, that Indian awareness is here. So we find non-Indians who wants to be Indians, who wants to go out and live on reservation and practice the Indian way of life. And many of them gets carried away on the thought of an Indian. So we find a non-Indian wearing an eagle feather on his hat, wearing a better beadwork than I have. And we find our people wearing something to show identity. That Indian feeling is here, and we can see that. So the Indian awareness is here, but many of our Indian people have lost their language, have lost their way of life, and some of our people are wearing a little beadwork just to show that he's an Indian. But there is more to it than beads and feathers. There is something valuable in that way of life. And when we talk about the Indian way of life, perhaps it is an error to say Indian way of life. If we turn around and look at the history of mankind, it is only a human being way of life. But it so happens that the native people have preserved that way of life. I can take a musical instrument and begin to travel throughout the world and go all over the world. That musical instrument, whether it be a flute or whatever, some parts of the world, people there will not recognize that instrument. But I can take my drum, whether it be a small water drum or a big drum, and take it all over the world, and native people in different parts of the world will recognize it as a drum. Why? Because they too at one time had a drum. And when we talk about Indian dance, such as round dance, we say that's an Indian dance, but it is only a human being way of dancing, because in our history we find that in other countries, they too danced in a circle form, holding hands, dancing in a circle. So when we talk about the circle as a sacred hoop, that circle had a meaning to all race of people at one time. But where did they lose it? Where did they lose their drum? Where did they lose their human way? Somewhere in the past, they too had a life very similar to what we call Indian way of life. Because in the beginning of times, we had no instructors, we had no teachers, so the Indian civilization had to be copied off of study of nature. And life couldn't have begun any different with any race of people. When life began with French people, German people, Italians, or whoever, they too had no teachers. They too had no instructors. They too had no universities and colleges at one time. So how did life begin with them? Very similar to what we call the Indian way of life. So it is only a human being way of life. But it so happens that down through the history, people had lost the meaning of that circle. Not so much in reading a book, or not so much in getting it from our teachers. All we have to do is simply look around, and common sense will show us that the creation follows a circle. All natural things follows that circle. So today, every creation still follows the original instructions of life. The pine tree remains what it is. The fruits, they come in a circle form. Many of our vegetables are in circle, or round. Apples, oranges. Your body is round, your eyes, the sun, the moon. The earth is round, and the native people have always known that. Then when I study the history of the white man, I feel like that they lost these teachings many, many years ago, long before Columbus came here. They lost it because it was a thought over there that the earth was flat. But our people knew that it was round because all creation follows that circle. Within that circle, we found a way of life. So our religion is not unseen. Our religion is visible. When Christian teachings are invisible, it is in the belief of something that cannot be seen by our eyes, such as hereafter. We have no descriptions of hereafter because our religion is on this creation. We cannot give you a description of the Creator, or we cannot give no one a description of the Great Spirit. Our Christian teachings tells us that there's a big guy up here that directs all life. Christian teachings tells us that there's somebody or some spirit way up here that directs everything. But in our traditional ways of teaching, we do not separate the Creator from the creation. The Creator may be a tree. The Creator may be a fish. The Creator may be a bird. The Creator may be an animal. When we look at the Bible tells us that no one has ever seen God, which backs up my idea or the native way of thinking about the Creator, that he may be a bird, tree, or animal. No other way you can describe the Creator. Read your Bible from first page to the last page, and you cannot give his description out of that book, because in it says no one has seen him. If no one has seen him, you cannot tell me that he's not a bird. If no one has ever seen him, they cannot tell me that he's not an animal. And there's no other way that you can describe him. Him or her, we don't know, because the Creator is among this circle in the creation. And this is the religion of our people. So we have no descriptions of hereafter. And it makes us wonder many times when we hear the descriptions of the golden streets, pearly gates, and diamonds up there, in which man has fought over. This is the value system of man today. Men have fought, they have stole, they have killed, they have murdered one another over these gold, diamonds, and pearls, all through the history of mankind. And then why did they have to place that in the Bible to convert us? If we had a desire for gold that bad, we would have fought over Black Hills many years ago, but we didn't. No one fought over Black Hills until the white man came here. So it makes us wonder, why did they have to place the man's value system in the Bible to convert us? I know there are a lot of conferences that are going on. The National Council of Churches puts on conference. The World Council of Churches puts on conference. They are now calling traditional people to come. Some 20, 25 years ago, they had no use for me. My ideas and my thoughts and my understanding of our tribal ways, traditional teachings, no one had no use for. The churches was not about to listen to me talk about my traditional ways. But why, in the last 10 years, you might say, did they change their mind? What have changed the National Council of Churches? What have changed the World Council of Churches that they are now asking the traditional people to come here? We're having a conference over here. Why do they need me? Why are they calling me now in which they didn't do that 20, 25 years ago?